Donkey Jaw Projects.
What's up, y'all? This is Marshall Lee of DonkeyJawProjects.com, and today I want to talk about getting rid of the excuses. Well, basically, what I'm doing here is I've been very much inspired by JRR Tolkien and the Lord of the Rings for a long time. You know, much of my life has had some inspiration by the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings and things like that. But you know, I had recently found a pretty cool playlist that talks about Tolkien and C.S. Lewis and both of them and the Inklings and their works and all that put together, and I've been just really excited to hear more about their lives and stuff. And you know, you can learn a lot by following the lives and autobiographies and biographies of people you're inspired by. So I've been doing that a lot. And so I just wanted to talk about kind of this whole, you know, idea of getting rid of the excuses, sort of, or just always pushing forward no matter what. My life lately has been crazy, to say the least. And I won't get into too much detail really, but this year has been easily one of the most trying years of my life, probably the most, really. And I haven't had a lot of time to do much, but I've continued to be productive for most of the year so far. There's been some somewhat big gaps, but at the very least I've been working in my sketchbook and doing things like that. And you know, I got the anthology story, the Life in Space story done. Been working on the anthology with the guys, trying to get that thing all situated, and the Kickstarter started up, things like that. You know, I did the sketch, summer sketch book challenge. I've just done things, you know. I've kept busy still, even with my crazy life. And there were times where I felt like maybe I shouldn't do this kind of stuff because, you know, it's like I have more important responsibilities to take care of, you know. And what I've realized is I can't really move forward without it anyways. If I go for too long without doing creative projects, I kind of get depressed. I don't feel like I'm producing, you know, kind of what I feel like I've been meant to produce. You know, I feel like, you know, this creativity is kind of my purpose, you know. So, you know, I find time, you know, and sometimes I have, you know, a good couple hours or a few hours once in a while, but a lot of times I'm just fitting things into my lunch hour or making myself get up early. And I've been doing that a lot actually lately. I've been trying to make it a habit, and I've been doing pretty good with it for the last few months, to get up early and get, you know, an hour to a half an hour in before I go to work and things like that. And you can see a lot of that kind of thing if you check out my Patreon videos. I have a lot of stuff like that. But that being said, you know, I just I've always done that in my life. And you know, this idea of, you know, you're too busy or you don't have time, it's just not a good excuse. It really doesn't. It's not true, I don't think. I mean, I get it. You know, you have a bunch of kids even, and, you know, all your time needs to go to taking care of the kids and going to work and all that stuff. That's one thing I don't have is kids, but that doesn't mean I don't have a lot of responsibilities. You know, my wife is basically disabled, so I have to kind of do everything in the house. things like that, and you know, taking her to doctors, and there's a lot I have to juggle. And so anyways, I find time, you know, and I kind of use it also as a therapeutic thing. You know, it kind of helps me to keep things in perspective, to not constantly be thinking about the kind of stuff that worries me and bothers me and things like that. So yeah, and you know, as I've been learning about Tolkien, and C.S. Lewis, but Tolkien in particular, he was a family man. He loved his family. He took care of his family, and he also had a very demanding career. You know, he was one of the most well-known linguists and scholars in Oxford when he was doing his thing back in the early 1900s. And he also, you know, went to war and things like that. He was in the First World War and all kinds of craziness with him. But he would stay up super late at night after everybody went to bed, and he'd write these little stories about hobbits and elves and all that fun stuff. And he created a pretty awesome thing, you know. He created Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit in these, you know, times as he's, you know, stepping over toys and taking care of kids and trying to make all the ends meet and all that stuff, you know. So if he could do it and he could create something like that, I don't think any of us should have any excuses. On this piece, I did not record the actual like coloring so much, just the flats and stuff, because I'm still learning about coloring. It seems like every time I do it I have to like relearn it, but hopefully you did get this piece. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you to all my Patreon subscribers. If you want to get a lot of extra content, just $1 a month does the trick, and you'll even get to be raffled into you know, just random raffles that I do for original art and stuff. And again, I'm here, you know, in my truck, just recording this audio, making a way to do it. So hope that encourages you. Let me know what you do to make your art. Peace out.